A very good morning to you. Thank you for joining us. You're watching Plus TV Africa, and this is the program where we bring you up to speed on all the latest headlines making the rounds in a newspaper review. Then you can go get a copy for yourself. Off the Press begins now. I am Felicity Eziwike, writing solo for a bit this morning. We start with this day newspaper. We have a couple of them, so just go as slowly as we can, so you catch them all well. Lawan moves closer to Senate presidency as Goje bows out. That's it, the front page of this day newspaper. It has three riders to that story. Says it's in deference to Buhari APC. Ndume, it's now a straight contest between two senators. 8th National Assembly dissolved. State assemblies proclaimed by governors. That's it on your screen. And just above that large headline, you will see heartfelt condolences. The editor of This Day Media Group and his family. Ganduje tightens news on Sanusi. That's another one right beside the picture on the front page of This Day. We come down to the bottom again before we go to the up. There you have it. Outrage as NBC bans DAR's license. You find details of that story on page 8. If you've been following the news, you would have heard us take a story on that as African Independent Television. Their license was suspended by the NBC. You can find details on page 8 of the paper. We'll go to the top now, where we have a bit of business. Firms protest as FG revokes Abiola 5 others oil licenses. Governors meet Buhari today over insecurity, huge debt. That's on page 9 of the paper. Let's see what's on the back. We have dialogue with Nigeria. That's it. Federalism and the Fulani crisis. You might want to hear the thoughts on that this morning. That's about it for this day newspaper. Let's see what's next. We have Vanguard. The screamer here is focused on slightly different from the Senate. Night Senate that's incoming. We have Christian elders misfired on Buhari. That's Muslim groups speaking under the caption "Insecurity Alleged Islamization." It has about 4 writers. Buhari is a nominal Muslim, not committed to any group. Shiites. NCEF's petition to UK Parliament intended to inflame Nigeria. That's NASFAT. Petition by Christian elders, prank to score cheap political points. That's MPAC. And presidency source, UK trip, waste of time. Afenifere Khan Ohaneze react. All of that story you will find on page 5 of the paper. We also have rise in Oando share price sparks fresh controversy. That's also on the front page. And the sad news from Imo State, 3 killed in Imo bomb blast. Yeah, unexploded ordinances. The story is on page 6. 3.4 billion naira fraud. Ganduje queries Sanusi. We're studying the query. Emir's aide speaking. Find details on page 15 of the paper. Governors meet Buhari today. That story was also captured on This Day newspaper, and that's about it at the very top of the paper. Oh, this one says oil thieves replace militants, steal 100,000 barrels per day. That's a report. I'm sure you want to know what's going on with the oil sector. I also saw another story about the NDDC chairman earlier in the news. I want to wait around. We'll have that captured again at 9 o'clock. There's pictorial reportage here, shipping conference in Norway, and House valedictory session as the 8th National Assembly bows out. All smiles from Dogara in that picture. I'm not sure if you can see it clearly. He's all smiles there. We also have something on the Apapa Oshodi gridlock. Failed road responsible for slow pace of enforcement. That's task team. FG revokes 6 oil licenses more threatened. I think we captured that story as well before. The AIT story is also captured, and the Senate leadership tussle is also here. The Vanguard is choosing to go small with this, but on this day, it is the screamer. Editors make the choices there, which is the biggest that would catch your attention. Of course, it depends on what your leanings are. You can go grab a copy of either This Day or the Vanguard newspaper. We have at the back of it some sports stories. CAF President Ahmed arrested in France. That's a big one, a really, really big one in the sports world. And then you have Pinnick may become CAF president. You need to go find out all the details on that story on the back page of the Vanguard. We're not done yet. We still have some other papers. We have the Nation newspaper. We have the Punch newspaper. So don't be in a hurry to make a choice yet. We have the Nation, and the battle for deputy begins as Goje steps down for Lawan. That's the screamer. The Nation is going along with the Stay newspaper with the choice of headline. At the top, we have the Emir of Kano situation re-echoed here. This time they're saying Emir of Kano gets 48 hours to reply query and billions of naira. Yeah, APC restates trust in Oshomole. That's the result of a National Working Committee meeting. Details of that is on page 3. Again, the AIT story is captured here. We also have sent policemen to Oando. We know that they are in the eye of the storm. Why Mikel Obi made team by Raul, a bit of business for you. Apapa gridlock again on the Nation newspaper. Task force bust cartel milking truck owners. Well, let's see some good news from that end in no time soon. Omar Gege is also here. You want to find out his role. That's the first rider to the story on battle for deputy begins as Goje steps down for Lawan. And now we have the acting CJN intensify Onoge's suspension. There are 3 quotes from the 3 big wigs there. Lawan and Dume Goje captured on the front page. That's their pictures for you. On the back page, we have Femi Ojo Ade goes home. That's some tribute for you on comment and debate on the back page of the Nation newspaper. Hardball is also a usual feature. And today it's Abacha and Abiding Sleaze. All right, let's see what we can do with the Punch newspaper to wrap things up at this hour. We have PDP, NGE, others bash FG as NBC suspends AIT Raypower license. Let me read this. Atiku is speaking and NGE is speaking. This action is unbelievable. Why would government do this in a democracy? This action is unacceptable and will not stand. That's what I'm reading is right here on the front page. That's it. And of course, we have another one. The legislature has been challenged. The judiciary has been tackled. If we stand by as the press loses its independence, there will be little up to differentiate us from a dictatorship. This should not happen. That's the 2019 presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku, speaking on the front page. And again, the 8th Assembly picture of Dogara smiling on the front page of this, the Punch newspaper. Members, all of them smiles as they bow out. Some of them are coming back, some are north. So a new set will be in by the 11th, as you well know. CAF boss Ahmad arrested in Paris for alleged corruption. Court refuses to bar Gbajabiamila from contesting Speaker's position. I'll take that again. Court refuses to bar Gbajabiamila from contesting Speaker's position. We have something on road neglect, begging the Ogun State Governor. All right, let's see what's at the top of the paper. We're not done with the Punch yet. At the very top of the paper, we have APC set up panel to probe Oshomole's deputy over resignation call. The other paper, I think one of them was choosing to go with a vote of confidence on Oshomole. He's been in the news lately. That's the FG revokes 5 companies' oil licenses. That's also on the front page. And the Kanu Emir's situation is also here on the front page of the Punch newspaper. You might want to go grab copies of any of these papers that we've reviewed so far this morning to get all the details of this story. But we'll take a short break, and when we come back, we'll still give you sports, so for the sports lovers, so you can make your choice. Do stay with us. Very glad to know you're still with us. This is Off the Press on Plus TV Africa. We have a bit of sports today. You and I are going to take care of this, so just sit back and enjoy some of the headlines this morning for sports lovers. Mikel focused on winning 2019 AFCON. That's something for you on the front page. And Balogun ready for Eagles shed war. That's it. The big ones there for you. Onyekuru set for Gala loan return. Still on Complete Sports front page, full house as Trust Ekong Ighodalo storm camp. 25 players now in the Sabah ahead of Zimbabwe friendly. We also have the story of Iheanacho's back and better. That's Eagles gaffer saying Leicester City star now a serious player. We also have something at the bottom. Transfer stories, of course, captured. We'll just take one of them. Arsenal make improved £44 million bid for Series A duo. Okay, that's something for you. On the back page of the Complete Sports newspaper, we have Chelsea, Madrid agree £130 million fee for Hazard. That's Transfer Centre captured. Nyema says no to Madrid, yes to Barca. Man City reject £13 million Inter bid for Danilo. Liverpool close in on £70 million Pep. Okay, Barcelona, PSG leading race for daylight, I guess. So I don't bite my tongue. I'm just going to leave that one there. Vanguard back page sports. I did mention earlier the CAF president Ahmed arrested in France. Details is inside the pages. Today's marches also captured for you in case you want to go look at that. France 2019. That's it on the screen. Super Falcons dare Norway for 3 points. And we also have at last Iwobi Musa join Eagles in Asaba. All right, that's some of the stories for you on the back page of the Vanguard newspaper. And that wraps things up at this hour, but not before we take a look at the Mr. and Mrs. cartoon on the front page of the Vanguard. We have, she left. Now, the wife is speaking. Now, if you look at the very corner of your on your screen now, you will see the Mr. and Mrs. cartoon that I always talk about. She left her man because one money misroad gave her some God-forsaken dollars. I will never do a thing like that. The wife reassuring the husband, and the husband says, let's say I believe you, but dear God-forsaken dollars do not exist. Dollars do. I guess that's it. Thank you very much for your time. I hope this was helpful. You pick a paper of your choice and get to know all the latest information making rounds. If you miss out, not to worry, we have your back. The news is up at 9 o'clock. To stay with us. My name is Felicity Ezewike. Thank you for watching.